RTD Live Talk, Detroit's number one late night YouTube talk show. We are back at it again for a Tuesday night edition. A lot of stuff to touch, a lot of stuff worth covering. Looking forward to finding out what else is on your radar and what you've been keeping your eyes on. And so, before I dive in any further, I want to make sure I acknowledge any new viewers. Feel free to let us know where you're watching from. We'd love to welcome you to the community. So feel free when the phone lines are open at 313-462-0027. Give me a call. We'd love to hear your voice directly or in the chat. Just let me know where you're watching from, and I will definitely give you a shout out real quickly. So hope everyone's doing well. And it looks like the gas crisis is underway, and everything smells like a planned event. And as I always say, there's no accidents in the midst of a great reset. Everything is being done intentionally to cause chaos and pandemonium. And it looks like we're just in the first phases of what could possibly get a lot worse. But we'll check into that. But anyway, I want to make sure, for anybody around the country, around the world, wherever you're tuning in, that let me know what you're seeing in your neck of the woods. Have you been impacted directly in your city or whatnot? Let us know when the phone lines are open. And then we will dive into it. So I have 4 or 5 articles here, all pretty much based upon this current situation we're experiencing as of now, especially here in Michigan. Whitmer's right in lock and step with her employers or whoever is pulling her strings. And so, of course, it's just too timely for it to be an accident. But anyway, I don't want to get off track. So let me dive in, do a little housework up front, and then I'll jump into some articles. And then, of course, whenever there's rumors of war, right now Israel is a hot spot right now. Got some stuff on the internet as well that's circulating. It's just real interesting times, man. I must admit, but we all knew about what was coming. So let me dive in real quick and do a little house cleaning first, and then I'll acknowledge the people. So if you're tuning in, hit the thumbs up button, show your support. Hopefully the algorithms are notify a few more people. No guarantees these days, but I want to encourage you, if you want to make sure you do get the notification link, consider becoming a member of the community via the email list. And I'm going to start now Sunday night. I'm going to put out the entire schedule and according to what I'm able to pre-schedule. So you'll always be notified, worst case scenario. So, okay, so let me dive into a little house cleaning here. Then I'll jump in the chat, acknowledge a couple people, and then we'll jump right in and go from there. So let me go back to the very beginning. Okay, rethinkingthedollar.com is a home base. Go there for news articles throughout the day, gold, silver, crypto, you name it. And then also I have my recommended videos that I put up down at the bottom where you can see, people I've keep an eye on, stuff worth your time. And then for those that might be new to the fold, I want to encourage you to go down to the Unplug from the Monetary Matrix section, my 5 steps, which are the 5 A's: awakening, awareness, analyze, act, and assemble. And the first one is the dollar quiz. It's a way to awaken and to realize that there might be some things that you may not know that you definitely need to know right now. So consider taking a dollar quiz, just something sweet and simple. If you've already taken it, don't be afraid. Don't be shy. Share it with your family and friends so they can be challenged and realize that perhaps they don't know some things as well. So worth your while there. Next thing, tomorrow night, 9:30 p.m. It's going to be a private chat for those that are part of the Patreon gang. So if you're interested in joining us face-to-face and for the most part, co-host with me amongst the community, feel free to become a member of the Patreon team, and you'll get the invite, and you can tune in tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. off air if you're interested. Next one here. Stay connected with RTD throughout the day. Beneath this video here, social link tab. All the places you can find RTD, just in case we're disconnected from the internet or from YouTube, you know where to find us. Most important 3 are the top one, which is what you're connecting to now. The email list is the 3rd one, and the 4th one down is a Discord page, and that's where a lot of these articles came from you, the community. So join the Discord page, click the link, and share videos, articles from whoever your favorite content creators are. It's all welcome, because if it's alternative media, we're all in the same ballpark. Okay, so let me dive in real quick. And I have not had a chance to check the silver prices, but look at that action. Look at that. Like that right there is up, down. It's just a roller coaster ride. Give you whiplash if you don't hold on for, hold your seat. But look at this. So yeah, once again, it's below 30. Cross your fingers and hope to stay below 30 so you can continue to get your weight up. Okay, so let me check in via chat real quick, like I promised, and acknowledge a couple people for taking time to bless us with their presence. All right, hit that thumbs up button, please. And hopefully that'll help the algorithms, because it'll let YouTube know that people are interested in tuning in out of almost 30,000 people. Anyway, it says the New York Redneck is in the building. We got Barlight Broker. We got Midnight Green. What else we got here? Truth or Nothing. We got Dude Boy. What else we got here? Truth or Nothing. Barlight. We got David Mancini in the building. We got Tom from Muskegon in the building. Mesquite is in the building. Appreciate you for tuning in, man. We got Israel. Shalom, peace and blessings from Sacramento. We got Mastermind, Tony B. We got John H. Who else we got? We got Iban B. from Rochester, New York. Mastermind, John the 10th man. Okay, cool. A lot of people here tuned in. Mama Bear in the building. All right, we got Richard from Florida Gas. They said Florida gas pipelines are here. Price is $2.80. All right, Faith Parent in the building. Keith Gibbon. Okay, Rolf. All right, man. A fair amount of people. Spencer in the building. Appreciate you guys. Kenneth in the building. Okay. Aaron Iman in the 1%. Hi from Cali. Okay, welcome to the fold, my friend. All right, so let me stop wasting time and get right into it so I can open up the phone lines because I wanted tonight to see how many phone calls I can get. Low blood pressure. My bad. I didn't want to exclude you, my man. Appreciate you for checking in. Special Inspector says Los Angeles regular gas is $6.99. You must be kidding me. Whew. Okay, I'm on. Okay, that's something else. Okay, so I'm gonna stop. We got Brenda Anthony, Arizona, $3. Okay. Appreciate you for checking in. Definitely let us know what your gas price is looking like. Okay, so let me stop ranting and jump into the meat and potatoes so that I can make this work. Okay, so I got a lot of nice amount of articles here, man. I highlighted a lot. So I had a chance to thumb through them all. And so we're just gonna go through each one of them real quick. 17 states declare emergency over a hack as energy secretary tells people not to hoard fuel. So 17 states are heavily impacted. And once again, of course, it's all along the Eastern Coast / Midwest region to my knowledge. But yet here's a list of the states. We have Alabama, Arkansas, D.C., Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maryland, Mississippi, New Jersey, New York, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, and Virginia. It says here's a little percentage of the gas prices that as they've gone up. We got 7.6% in Virginia, 7.5% in North Carolina, 5.2% in Georgia, 2.7% in Florida. Says the national average jumped 6 cents this week to $2.96. It says an average the country hasn't witnessed since 2014. The pipeline spans 5,500 miles and transports more than 100 million gallons a day between Texas and New Jersey. 100 million gallons a day, delivering roughly 45% of the fuel used on the East Coast. So once again, here's some things that I question. Clearly, we are just a just-in-time type of system here because I'm thinking like, okay, outside of some disruption over the last 4 or 5 days now, we should have some reserves, that should be easily accessible for people to be able to source their fuel. Unlike I think a lot of this is a hyped up fear as well because the pipeline has gone down. But once again, we got fuel stations running dry as if like they literally were already running on E. Of course, a lot of people are out there. I got videos of people just standing in line looking like it's Venezuela type lines out here. But yet, once again, just stuff to make you wonder. Like, it's only been 5 days and has the fuel pumps dried up that quick to where there's all this panic, or is the mainstream media making sure they're highlighting this, causing fear like they usually do? Something worth thinking about. Low blood pressure says Patreon does not accept my credit card. Didn't want to look like a cheapskate. LBP, I appreciate you, my man. So I got you, my friend. I'll see you tomorrow night at 9:30, boss man. I got you. Okay, let's keep it moving. White House urges Americans to not hoard gas as hacked pipeline remains shut. So this is something, just more information in regards to Jennifer Granholm and her some quotes here. One thing I found interesting says, much as there was no cause for hoarding toilet paper at the beginning of the pandemic, there should be no cause for hoarding gasoline, especially in light of the fact that the pipeline should be substantially operational by the end of this week and over the weekend. Granholm acknowledged that, quote, the next few days are going to be challenging. She says, quote, things will be back to normal soon, and that we are asking people not to hoard and know that we are all over this. Okay, so right then and there, just you hear those words, things will get back to normal soon. Really? So with the whole pandemic, if you participate, you do what you're supposed to do, stay 6 feet apart, don't see your family, don't smile, and make sure you don't go outside, have fun, and you get the thing in your arm, we getting back to normal. Whenever politicians tell you we're here to help, run the other way. And nowadays, whenever politicians tell you this is what can get us back to normal, or do this and then we'll get back to normal, run. you get my point. All right, so here's something here that came out earlier from Zero Hedge, and this is where it's just like, man, this is when I saw this, I'm like, dog, this is some Venezuelan type stuff, because I watch documentaries all the time and you see, car lines where people just lined up for miles trying to get gas. And it's just a panic, man. I remember the blackout that we had in 2003 summertime in Michigan. I think it was a energy situation, power outage, and I remember in Detroit, gas, every power was out. I had to drive 2-3 hours north to get some gas, but I remember that sense of like, man, like, I'm on E. So yeah, word is never drive your car on E. It's one thing we take away from this. Anyway, so here's some more videos here of just people out and about, just literally just down the street trying to get gas. It was that bad today. We got pumps covered up. People can't get gas because they basically telling you, hey, the pumps are empty. Don't even try coming in here. And so here we got people, 3 or 4 cans in the back seat. We got a guy here with a tanker. He has a full-fledged tanker. He probably pulled out the ground to come get some gas. And of course, more car lines here. We got journalists here reporting, just lines up the wazoo. It goes on and on and on. We got gas prices here for $4 for $1.59. So somebody said, I've never seen gas dispense so slow. So I guess because all the pumps were being used, things weren't flowing as smoothly. So think about this. They only got 1.5 gallons and they're trying to fill up. So they're probably literally right here pumping this gas for a lot longer than they anticipated. So anyway, this is just what happened here. I'm sure you guys seen stories like this. And then here's something that just makes it smell extra fishy. Whitmer threatens profit seizure if Line 5 pipeline keeps operating. So over the last several months, apparently, I've been aware of it, but not paying too much attention because there's just so much stuff to cover. But Whitmer here, and I went to her Instagram page today, and people are just slamming her something fierce. They just throwing all types of fingers at her and calling her this and calling her that and wishing her kids, they want to kill their kid. I'm like, damn. So Whitmer's there's not many fans of Whitmer here in Michigan. Okay, so just a little short note here. Here we have a national pipeline, most important on the East Coast, hit by a ransomware. And then on top of that, Whitmer doubles down and decides to cut off Line 5, which runs through the Lakes underground along the river, claiming that it's hazardous, whatever, but they've never had any issues to my knowledge, and of course to the story here. But it's just like, okay, you got a ransomware attack on one end, and then you got Whitmer up in Michigan threatening to shut down another pipeline. At the same time, we're already experiencing some difficulties. Make you wonder. And then I'll thumb through this real quickly. Just some stuff here. It talks about a nearly 4-mile long section of the Line 5 divides into 2 pipes that cross the bottom of the Straits of the Mackinac, which connects Lake Michigan and Lake Huron. Says she revoked an easement last November that Michigan had granted in 1953. So it's been up and running since 1953. All of a sudden, Whitmer decides to shut it down. So obviously, she's taking orders from somebody much higher than we the people, and definitely higher than Biden for sure. So anyway, here, just a couple of things here. I thought what was interesting was it tells a little bit details about how the jobs, we're looking at possibly 33,000 jobs will be lost as a result of this, and around 20.8 billion in economic losses between Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, and Pennsylvania. So you're talking about, we got 17 states, as I mentioned before, 17 states are all having some issues. We got 17 states already having issues, of which none of the 4 states I just mentioned are a part of that. Then we got Whitmer over here talking about basically including Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, Pennsylvania, making a total of 21 states in a national emergency. So, say, okay, any leadership would tell you, you don't add fuel to a fire when it's burning. You probably want to dial back and try to put this out so at least America will have some options. But yet, once again, Whitmer, they're all in on the Build Back Better. And in order to build back better, you got to dismantle and completely destroy the energy infrastructure and plus some. Anyway, keep moving. Here's another here, just more articles, but just this bold black here was just too sexy to pass up. And so, yeah, controversial. Sure. Okay. This is a spinoff on The Hill. Why is it controversial? It's been doing well since 1953. Okay, sure. Here's a video that somebody put in the chat where it's somebody today basically sharing what their gas station looked like. And there's some things he hinted on in this video here, which is worth touching on. And it has to do with the fact that, he's telling people, hey, wake the hell up, people. This is a globalist takeover of our country, starting with our energy sector. And so, of course, we had Biden come out yesterday telling people that we need to build our infrastructure back and cybersecurity and, basically expanding government even more. And so ultimately, one of the points that I pulled out from this video here was that, the author was saying the goal is literally to begin the decimation of the energy sector so that the government can reach their net zero carbon emission policy by 2030 by grooming us to the fact that gasoline pipe infrastructure is it's unsafe, it's dangerous. Of course, nuclear is going to be in there eventually as well. So we need to go green. We need to everybody needs to get electric cars. So in order to prevent stuff like this, we're going to, in the third or fourth package relief bill, we're going to incorporate a tax credit for everybody to get half off on a energy car from one of the big three type of thing. And then we're going to replace gas stations and put energy stations where you can charge up your electric car. This is the type of stuff they're throwing out there. So, how else would you convince people it's time to dial back on carbon emissions unless you create these false problems and hype them up to where people be like, well, hell, I don't want to be stuck in line again. Let me go ahead and get an energy car, efficient car, and all the other crap. So anyway, here's another article here. Then I'll stop ranting. Canada asks U.S. court to prevent Michigan from shutting down Line 5 pipeline. So this is what's going on. This is just in the energy sector, people. This is what's going on in this world here. Then we got Jerusalem right now. Apparently the Hamas that I showed a video earlier in the Discord. You got the Israeli military shooting down missiles out the sky. It looks like it's an unimaginable scenery, but yet that region is used to that. But could you imagine, wherever you're located at right now, looking up in the sky, and actually let me find that video, looking up in the sky and you see rockets and missiles and, what I'm saying? Like that's some stuff that, we here in this side, we're not used to it, but yet they're trying their best to do anything they can to cause fear, panic, and what else. Let me see here. So I'm sure you guys seen that video. Let me try to find it real quick. If I can click on some stuff, but may not be able to get it. Let me try to get this real quick, just because the video is something that is worth watching. And then I'm gonna stop ranting. And then I want the phones to ring so we can talk. I want to see if we can get as many calls as we can in. So feel free to share a quick thought. And we can go from there. So let me I'll copy this. Oops, wrong one. All right, 1 second. Let me bear with me. I got to show you this for those that may not have seen it. It's definitely worth checking out. And so here we go on the screen. Let me pop this up here. So this is what I was referring to when you just happen to, could you imagine, this type of stuff here where, you look up in the sky and those are not fireworks. When I first saw this clip, I'm thinking like, is that the alien ships, the UFOs they're talking about? Like what's going on? Is this attack War of the Worlds type of thing? You know what I'm saying? So just look at this. Just imagine this, man. Just stuff that, God forbid we have in this country, man. But anyway, okay, people, I'm done ranting. I'm shutting my mouth. 313-462-0027 is the phone lines. If you don't call me, there is no talk show, so you have to call. Give me a call. Let's talk. Let me know what you keep an eye on. How has this impacted you? Is this a more escalation on top of the false flag that we touched on, and how that all plays out like we did yesterday? Let me know. Give me a call. Phone lines should be open. Here we go. We got our first call here. Let's find out what's going on. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from? Okay, 1 second. I got too much stuff going on. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry about that. Go ahead. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Mike, it's Brando Commando.
Brando, how you doing, my man? You there?
I'm here.
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yep, go ahead. I got you. I apologize for that. Go ahead.
Hey, Mike, it's Brando Commando.
Yes, sir. What's going on with you, my friend? What's your thought on all this?
I'm still free in FEMA Region 3.
Uh-huh.
But, I mean, I just saw your video. If you want me to comment on that, I've been seeing things like these for years and years and years, and they're slowly telling us that something crazy is going on. I can't put my finger on what it is, but I did call to tell you two specific things.
Mm-hmm.
So the car dealership called me yesterday, the one I got my car from like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, you're almost done paying off your car. You still have a lot of equity in it. Do you want to trade it in? So now they're calling people to trade in their cars.
Oh my god. Yeah, why not? More debt, man.
I told them what any like logical minded person would say. I was like, hey man, I don't know if you noticed, but things are pretty weird out there. And I'm almost paying this baby off. So I'm going to enjoy not having a car payment. Thanks very much.
Yeah. Smart move, man. Smart move.
But aside from that,
yeah.
I also just got myself another motorcycle.
Okay. You're a rider.
Because, you know, if gas prices are going through the roof, then I need something that's just going to like sip on gas. And these bad boys, they get about 50 miles a gallon.
Yeah. And so, yeah, that'll serve you well for the next couple of months. But God forbid it goes into the winter. You're going to be a cold soul. But you'll also be able to.
I've ridden in snow, rain. Oh, man, I've ridden in the worst. But can you imagine if the United States reverts to like some sort of like India or Shanghai or some like weird traffic system where it's just like flooded with scooters and mopeds?
That's going green. So, you know, you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. So basically they say you won't own a vehicle. They'll own it and you'll lease it from them type of thing. So that, you know, something sick of that nature is in their plans, you know, 10 years from now, if they succeed, but God forbid they do, man. But
you know,
hey, man.
I swore I noticed this past Christmas that they were having like, everybody was having a sale on electric scooters. I mean, I ended up getting one for my son. Yeah. And it just seems like I heard a couple people talking about it. It's like they were pushing them hard this year. So,
yeah. Well, hey.
You know, man, the agenda, it lurks. It even comes out at Christmas.
Yeah. Well, hey, man, I appreciate you calling as always. Good to hear your voice, boss, man.
All right, you too, Mike.
Be good.
Man.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, good stuff, people. Man, yeah, give me a call, man. Let's talk. Give me your 2 cents. What are you seeing? What are your thoughts on this? Like, you know, what additional analysis can be added to this as to how this whole situation just doesn't, you know, add up? It doesn't sound or seem like it's even something that is possible to have a ransomware attack and there not to be no true signs as to who, how, where, when, but they're going to get the FBI in on it. And then here's another thing. We got to remember, since the Patriot Act and the NSA and all the Five Eyes, you know, they got 5 entities, basically UK, Australia, NSA, and Israeli, and another government entity that have such highly sophisticated technology. And every single cell phone, every computer has a back door in it. They see and hear everything. And you mean to tell me they are not able to sniff out clues as to who did things like this, if this is real? That's where I start to believe it. That's where I start not to believe it, because I'm thinking like we are living in a completely surveillance style state globally. And to have stuff, I mean, of course, there are some really smart individuals out there on the net that's, you know, that's really good at what they do and fly under the radar in the dark web, stuff like that. But come on now, you know what I'm saying? I.e., go back to the event that took place in D.C. Of course, the fact that you got all the people communicating on their cell phones, you know, planning and strategizing how they're going to, you know, raid the Capitol supposedly. And they couldn't stop that if they wanted to. But yet they want this stuff. They want instability. They want chaos. They want fear, because that puts them in a position where they can then come in and say, hey, we need to do this. But anyway, I'm rambling because nobody's called me. So if you don't call me, I'm going to rant. Give me a call, 313-462-0027. And I'll check in the chat too, because it's been a while. And since you're here, as I mentioned before, hit the thumbs up, show your support for the channel, because hopefully that'll help the algorithms, because YouTube is acting funny for the last year or two. Anyway, hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Mike, it's low blood pressure, Corpus Christi. How's it going?
LBP, I'm doing good, my man. What are your thoughts on all this stuff?
Oh, my God, Mike. The world is getting crazier. Look, Mike, I got my tin foil on right now.
Okay, the tin foil sombrero. Okay, go ahead. Give it to me.
Yeah. Tom, look. Okay, the U.S., they always want to dominate, right? And right now, other countries got too much gold. You know, I'm thinking conspiracy. Maybe they're gonna bring out another metal on top. You know, instead of having gold as a reserve, I'm thinking they're gonna have silver. Right? That's the only way that I think the United States could get the upper hand, because China's got too much gold, Russia's got too much gold, and I think Mexico and America, they made some kind of deal under the table. That's just like tinfoil talking, though.
So, outside of the plans is already in place, you thinking there's something else going on as far as some strategic type of unification of the monetary system, or what? What are you talking about?
I think you know how they always, like, after World War II, the United States, you know, they waited a while. They didn't want to get involved. They ruled the world because of the gold. That's the only reason they ruled. So now they want to rule again. They're going to have to come up with something. They can't rule over China because China's got too much gold. And, you know, Russia and those other nations, they got too much gold. So what if they go and say, you know what, silver is going to be on top?
That is definitely possible. And of course, for those that are in the alternative media realm, we know the importance of that type of asset there. So it'll be beneficial for us. But I see it. I see that being a challenge because the goal is to go digital. So I don't see the U.S. putting themselves in a clamp, and definitely Mexico, even though they have the most silver to be able to do that. But it'd be far-fetched for me to think that. But in this current moment, anything is possible. So
yeah, the only thing, Mike, is because J.P. Morgan has that big hoard. And you know they're holding it for the U.S. government. That's the only people they could be holding it for.
Very true. Very true. Very true, man. What are your thoughts on this gas situation? Anything in your neck of the woods? Y'all good?
No, you know what? Gas has only gone up a few, maybe 10 cents. Last time I drove by, it hasn't really gotten too crazy. Out here we have 2 refineries, you know?
Yeah.
And you got the big Houston. See, all that gas is going north. It's going to Houston. It's going north to the East Coast. That, as far as I know, because Houston's got one of the largest refineries in the country.
Yeah.
So I think, and all that crude oil, it comes in through the port of Corpus Christi and through the port of Houston. So there's no real need for that pipeline for Houston unless you're going to ship that gas north. But Mike, they could still ship gas through what is semi, you know?
Yeah. And that's the thing. So
it's all bull, you know?
Yeah, clearly, man. Because I'm thinking, like, you know, it's been 4 or 5 days of a disruption of no oil flowing, and everything happens to be running dry. Like, what happened to the reserves? Like, I think, didn't Trump during his administration, didn't he like add to the emergency stockpile of oil? That stuff should be dispersed in the meantime.
Yeah, that pipeline's got nothing to do with crude oil, Mike. That pipeline's all gasoline.
Yeah,
because the crude oil comes from a ship directly into the port of Houston. It's not coming from up in the East Coast south.
Yeah,
it's going from Houston north. And the gas, and it has to have at least 2-3 weeks of delay. So if you see shortages, it's because people are panicking. It has nothing to do with the supply as far as production. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that has like a month or 2 months of lag time.
Yeah. Good stuff, man. I appreciate you for checking in with me. To get a couple more calls in, man. But I'll see you tomorrow, boss.
All right, Mike. All right. Have a good night. Thanks. Bye.
Yeah, good stuff, man. Good stuff. I appreciate the call and the analysis as well. Got the tinfoil hat on. Anyway, so if you guys didn't see, I put in the chat the face-to-face connect. So if you guys want to connect and just ask a question, share a quick thought on air, I put the link in the chat there. So click it, and then I'll let you in for a hot second. I'll give you about 30, 40 seconds, give or take, to share what's on your mind, and then I'm going to boot you from the screen. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Mike, Tony from Oakland with his tinfoil hat.
TB with your tinfoil. What's up, man? So for those that may not be aware, on this channel, we're not afraid to go far left field, so everybody should have a tinfoil, because in this current environment, anything is possible. So I got mine on too. Go ahead, give me something.
You know, it's been my contention that they cannot open up this economy since this whole thing started back in March.
Yeah.
Now, I ask you, what have we done since March?
What have we done since March? Expand the monetary base. It was about 6-7 trillion, give or take. Overcompensate people to stay home, do nothing, and promote the idea of getting a jab to go back to normal. Yeah, that's about it.
Have we done anything to work towards normal?
No. There's always been some type of criteria in between normalcy and our current environment. And so, as I mentioned,
or crisis.
I'm sorry, a crisis has always been a trigger. But then again, there's always been some type of demand or standard or something that they wanted us to do in order to go back to normal, i.e., the jab is to open up. And then with this oil situation, don't hoard, be patient, sit back and do nothing.
Right. And all that. And you know, I look at it like this. With the way they did the CV.
Yeah.
And now the gas on the central location is in Texas. Remember they closed the XL.
Yeah.
Keystone. And now they're talking like this one, the Colonial. They don't know when it's going to be up, and they have provisions now till May 12th in order to, like you said, relieve the pricing.
Yeah.
And also up in your neck of the woods, they're talking about closing Line 5. That's been there for 68 years, hasn't had any trouble.
Right. None at all. But yeah, Whitmer wants to play tough woman or whatever. I don't know. Tough, not tough guy, but tough woman. So yeah, at the same time.
Why are they closing all the gas pipelines? Is my thing.
Yeah.
Is it because they're switching over to natural gas? I mean, this is crazy.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense whatsoever to do it all at the same time. Like, I would assume Whitmer should come out and acknowledge that we're having a state of emergency, 17 states. We're not going to enforce this. We'll reinvestigate this, and so that it doesn't disrupt the northern flow from Canada right on through to Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. In the next couple of weeks, a month. So they're trying to destabilize and dismantle the country. So, all gloves are off. It's whatever they can get done. And it seemed like they're in a rush. Like, there's something about this summer, I think. Something about this summer has really got me concerned.
Whitmer's talking about closing down this month.
Yeah.
So that's not too far away. It's
a
couple of weeks and the month is over. And for the digital people out there, I think they're trying to herd people into digital.
Yeah.
Because and not many people look into the effects of the sun.
Right.
We're currently going through a solar minimum, and there has been a lot of plasma outgassing towards the Earth, and the Earth is connected with the sun. The SUN is connected with the sun, and we had a direct hit just yesterday, and they're expecting it to come in tomorrow. So if things start getting a little haywire, and they're fully aware of this, and NASA knows this, and I think that's what they're waiting on is that big outburst, and it should be happening pretty soon because it's pretty active. If you go look at the 42,000 year cycle, that's what we're currently in. And currently, I still got my tinfoil hat on. They're talking about the world flipping over, and it's currently 1 centimeter every year. But this has been going on for a long time.
Yeah.
So that they very well know what's going on when it comes to the sun.
Yeah.
So keep your eyes to the sky.
Will do, man. Appreciate you for calling in.
Keep your head up.
All right, be good.
All right, bye.
All right, so we got our first person to check in. We got another tinfoiler here joining us. We got another tinfoiler joining us. Brando Commando, how you doing, man?
Yo, what's up, guys? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can. You got the real tin. Oh, that's a steel foil. Is that silver or what is that?
Yeah, it's silver. Yeah,
3 9s. Is that 3 9s or 4 9s?
It's 100 ounces of silver. Hey, so
Hey,
what
man.
I'm calling to tell you guys is that you better start manning up soon and have to find your center, like I told you the last time.
Yeah.
Because we're in the midst of a blackout, a media blackout, a censorship battle, a spiritual war, and we're not getting any information. So you guys need to take it from inside the guidance of the Holy Spirit, and you need to hear God's words.
Yeah. I can get in agreement with that, my man. I appreciate you for adding that, the spiritual nature to things. So definitely, man, appreciate that.
just don't forget that we're in the midst of like some kind of censorship blackout. You're not getting a fair shake. Your news feeds are being engineered. You're being shown propaganda left and right.
Yeah.
The Fed chairmen, they get at the microphone and they speak their bull crap. Like we can't get a fair gauge on anything.
Yeah, now watch this. I'll not to cut you off. I'm looking in the chat. Gene says, Mike, put your hat on. So I'm going to put mine on too, and I'm going to hang up on you. So we got 2 tin foilers on. This is real tin. Y'all think you got steel, though. But we got 2 tin foilers on. And it's good to say that at this current moment, there's nothing that we can say that's probably too far-fetched that the orchestrator of this entire event will not try to pull off. We got the UFO stuff coming. You might see some alien ships coming soon. And of course, that's, demonic. I believe demonic, presence right there. But anyway, so tinfoils are on, people. That's where we're at these days, man. So, Brando, I appreciate you, man.
Thanks for having me on the show, man. Appreciate it.
Be good.
All right, find your center, guys. Stay true.
All right, man. Good stuff. Hello, Carlos. Where you calling from?
Hi, this is Dan Z calling from Wisconsin.
How you doing, my friend? What's on your mind today?
I'm doing great. I wanted to follow up with something from low blood pressure that he said. In Bretton Woods in 44, one of the things that Mexico retained the right to do, and most people didn't think about it, was to retain the right to keep silver as money, which most people didn't think about because the U.S. was still on money or silver until 64.
Right.
So they still do have that right. And it's kind of interesting with Hero Salinas Price, who hates the United States, and I do too, but, he really believes that war's around the corner. And the United States, the war's coming to the soil of the United States. It's not going to be something where U.S. is playing on other people's turf.
Yeah.
And whether that's a false flag where they create the incident, who knows? But he was very, very in an op-ed piece that's on his website. It was very, very critical of the United States and scary.
Yeah, is it a recent article, like within the last week or so, or this is because I usually check out his site often, so I'm not trying to see if there's something new or not.
Yeah, it's about 3 weeks old.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I read it. I actually sent it to some people, and I go, "Wow, this is coming from a billionaire, the guy who in Mexico that basically owns like the Walmart or Sam's Club of Mexico and the banks, his banks and the Libertads and mines." I mean, he's not a tinfoil hat guy, but he wrote those 2 open letters to Trumpster and said that they planned on going through with the monetization of silver, and that would be the only currency that would be tied to something with intrinsic value. So the U.S. would have bombed Mexico and destroyed them, just like they did with Gaddafi. I mean, these guys play hard.
Yeah. Well, hey, I appreciate you calling and sharing that. I got LBP on the screen here, and I'll have him touch on that. So thanks for calling in, my friend.
Thank you.
Yeah, be good. LBP in the building. How you doing, boss?
I'm back, Mike. I saw the face-to-face. I had to come on.
Yeah, I knew you couldn't turn it down.
Hey, what was that gentleman talking about? I didn't catch the whole thing. He's talking about Hugo Salinas Price?
Yes, he was talking about, because he was responding to your comment when you called in about Mexico and silver and the possibility of some type of collaboration or some type of thing like that. He was saying that I guess it's still on the books today. Silver coinage for Mexico is still in play or something like that. And I wonder, if anybody know in the chat, what year did Mexico actually remove silver from their coinage? I wonder if it was around the same time as here in the U.S. as 64, or did it come after? So I'd be curious to find that out. But yeah, let me know if you know. How you doing, man?
I don't know, Mike. Look, that guy Hugo Salinas Price, he was born in Pennsylvania. Most people don't know that. You notice his English is very well. He went to Wharton College, like Trump, Yeah. And he started Electra, which is like a Best Buy type of store, like in Mexico. It's a big chain. And his father was a businessman as well, You always got to look at the background of these people,
Yeah. So I think Roth says 1968. So Roth says 1968, assuming that's about, Mexico removing silver from their coinage. So a couple years after the U.S. Yeah, man. But what's going on?
But
go ahead.
Look, you were talking about the Mexico still had it on the books. The U.S. government still has it on the books. How many grains of silver? It's still on the books.
Yeah, good point. And that's another thing. Like it's now that how many states total now have removed capital gains or just taxes in general from gold and silver? It's about 5 or 6, right?
Yeah, something like that, Mike. I don't know. I'm bad with facts. I could just Google everything.
So I think it's about 5 or 6. So we'll see if there's any further steps taken. Because I think we talked about this last week about how there's a possibility of states at some point, because especially the Republican states, if they end up having some issues where there is not a separation or, God forbid, a civil war type of event, they're going to need some funding. And good to say, a democratically led Congress / presidency, they're not going to be doing any type of funding to states that are not in lock and step with this Build Back Better program. So there's going to be some issues funding stuff to where states might have to take matters into their own hands, and somehow gold and silver might fall back into play, down the line, which I would love for it to happen, because that means that there's a disconnect between the CBDC, them removing cash, and gold and silver. There'll be some competition out there. Now we gotta see what the people choose, but we'll see. Yeah.
The only way that'll happen, Mike, is the monetary system has to break away from the states. The states are going to have to use something other than the Federal Reserve note. Without that, the Fed's got everyone by the balls, because of the damn dollar,
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you about, you see that story about LBMA? They unaccounted for like 300 tons of silver or something like that. Did you see that one?
I did not. Give me some insight. What's that? I'll pull it up. So is that today?
Okay. I'm sorry, not the LBMA, the COMEX. The COMEX, their claims on silver, whatever, how much they have in inventory. Uh-huh. They were off by like 200 metric tons, something crazy like that. Don't call me. Just look it up. It was a lot of silver.
Oh, I didn't know that. So, but here's the thing, like. No, I mean, but yeah, at this current point in the game, that doesn't surprise me, because that they don't have it anyway. So they obviously losing the ability to shuffle the paper around and keep track of the paper in regards to how much metal they're supposed to be holding on to. So it's all one big sham. But the problem is CFTC, SEC, no one's going to do anything about it. So it's like we're holding our breath for what? Like, so long as it's under 30, like a lot of the technical analysts say, that's the time where you take advantage of it. Of course, I know you do. But once it goes beyond 30, 50, 60, 100, then you got to factor in the premiums on top of that. So if the spot is actually at 45 or 50, what do you think the premium is going to be, given the fact that a good portion of people who are awake and aware, they're not going to be looking to sell it back in, so it's going to be even that much higher. So I was on the gold, was it Wall Street Silver, Gold, or whatever show, and I was saying how they asked my predictions on silver for the end of this year. And I'm like, well, based upon the paper game, it could easily be 27, 28, but then premiums be 27, 28 as well, which will give you that $50 or $55 to actually walk out the store with one coin. So anyway, just my little rant.
Eagles, Mike, you can't find them anywhere. Nobody's selling them back. And the 2021s are all gone. Who's got them? I've looked everywhere.
Yeah. So my little coin guy, still has them. So whenever I can, I grab as many as I can. And it's just it's random years. So it's like anything you got is American Eagle. I either my Get Your Weight Up coins or American Eagles are my favorites. So yeah, I'm gonna buy until I can't buy no more. Now, give me your thoughts on Chris from UK called in last night, and he was talking about his depository, or the deposit box, which was not a bank or not like that in LA, whatever. But he obviously, they were doing some illegal activity. They confiscated everything. And so what are your thoughts on using depositories and bullion banks and stuff like that to hold your weight? Is there room for that still, or because of the environment, is that extreme risk at this point?
Look, I asked one time, Dunnigan Kaiser, I typed in a question, because Andy Schectman deals with depositories.
Yeah.
By, I think it's Brinks, that does the guarding, Yeah. Well, anyway, I sent them in a question. I said, hey, look, are the guys from Brinks going to fight the U.S. Army when they come in and say that's my gold? And the answer, of course, is no. No one's going to stop. And who's going to stop the FBI? They're going to start a shootout? At least if it's at your house and they come, you can shoot at them, But they're not the guard. They're not going to shoot at feds, Come on. At least here you can do a last stand at your house,
Yeah.
That's the first. Think about it. They want to raid. They want to raid and take gold. Where are they going to go? they're gonna go to the depositories where all the gold is. You know, that guy says, why do you rob banks? Because that's where the money is. Why you go to depository to take gold? Because that's where the gold is. People, keep it at your house. Come on. Or bury it or put it somewhere safe. But
keep it in closer proximity. But yet, once again, you got a couple people, and that's where this has always been something that has been concerning to me, is because everyone has different strategies and different game plans. And even on Thursday, I got a guy in my interview who's, talking about, he has property in Mexico, so he's back and forth. And I'm thinking, like, it's going to be hard to do international traveling unless you're fully participating in this whole situation, paperwork, vaccine, everything included. So you won't be able to actually get up out of the country to go if you had it stored somewhere else the way that I, would have hoped you would have if it wasn't for a globally synchronized event such as the one we're experiencing now. So having something relatively close and accessible is probably in your best interest if you can. Yeah.
Man, Mike, you ever been to Mexico? All you need is like $100 bill at the guard, at the border. That's all you need, Mike. They won't even look at you.
That's pre-COVID.
No, Mike, come on.
I'm talking about doing a great reset when that Mexican soldier or military guy is not feeding his family. You think he's just gonna settle for a big piece of paper? He won't.
Well, you give him a little silver.
Huh?
You give him a silver Libertad, and he'll be like, "Come, you know what? I'll escort you all the way to your house if you want."
Know what he gonna do? Know what he gonna do? You gonna stick out one Libertad. He gonna say, you keep that. You give me the rest of that, and just so he'll leave you with one Libertad, and he gonna walk off with your case.
Hey,
but to keep your life and to be able to start again, I think it'll be worth it, because that one silver will still be something to get you a meal for a couple of days or a week or two, depending on, I don't know what, I don't know how to be in Mexico type of thing, but yeah, so that's my little rant. But hey, man, I'm about to get it down back. Go ahead, give me some last thoughts, man. We're gonna pick up tomorrow off air.
There's nowhere to run, but just get your weight up, even if you have to use your credit card. Do it, it's gonna be look. When a bank lets you borrow money, it's not even real money. It's imagination, Yeah. So just pay them back in imagination, Say, oh, sorry, right? Just type something in the computer and send them an email with a number. There's your money.
Here, redeem that. Hey, man, thanks for joining me, man. I'll see you tomorrow, boss.
All right, Mike. Have a great night. Thanks for taking my chat.
Yes, sir. Oh, my goodness. It's always good to hear from LBP. So anyway, people, I'm going to get ready to dial back. We hit that 47-minute mark. My goal is to try to keep it 35, 45, but we get carried away because we do be having some fun. So anyway, if you've enjoyed the back and forth, man, hit that thumbs up button, show your support for the channel. And if you're new, hit the subscribe button. And definitely make sure you call in next time earlier so we can get more people in. And I might do the FaceTime as well. But tomorrow night, no live stream. We're going to be doing something for the Patreons only. So if you want to join me face-to-face, LBP is a part of the Patreon group. So if you want to join me, become a member of the Patreon right here, where we at right here, and just support the channel because it helps keep things running. And so you can join us and help me co-host as well tomorrow night, 9:30 off air. So anyway, people, with that being the case, it has been great hanging out with you guys. Hope you guys had a chance to connect among the community and navigate these choppy waters. And then like I mentioned last night, just for those that, I'm about to share a little bit of the spiritual element of things. And so we're and we're having a trifold experience. We're naturally being exposed to some things. We got to practically respond according to the information we have, and to best prepare and to position ourselves in a position to be able to maintain ahead. But then also we can't do it without spiritually being connected to the Creator Himself. And so for those that are part of the community, I want to end off. I'm going to start doing it every night with a prayer and just sharing my 2 cents, because I was in the Word today. And what really stood out to me was the idea of being blessed. And of course, as a member of the kingdom of heaven, as a disciple, I like to say I'm a disciple, follower of Christ, the blessing of Abraham is still available to those that believe through faith. And so I just today was pronouncing the blessing of my life, my family, my friends, just to remind myself as to whose I am and who I am in Christ. And so right now we need this more than ever. So I want to encourage you guys to continue to stay prayed up. And of course, more importantly, it's all about bearing fruit. And that fruit happens to do with human souls, the most valuable commodity on the planet. And that's what the Lord wants. He wants his children to return back to him out of the hands of the enemy. And so definitely let's do that. So anyway, I want to end on a little prayer, whatever, for those that are tuning in. If you want to connect, the word says whenever two or more are gathered, he's in the midst of us. So I'm believing that if you out there, if you want to connect with the spiritual right now, we can tap into heaven and hopefully, Lord, to intervene in these affairs, because we definitely need that. So bow your head real quick. Heavenly Father, I thank you for the opportunity to gather tonight as a community, Lord. I ask that you would touch the hearts of everyone that's tuned in, that you would give them wisdom and insight on how to navigate these waters. We ask that your spirit fills them up, and we ask that their light shines bright, that they can draw others into the kingdom of heaven, as well as, Father, allow them to prosper and to be able to give and serve in this day and age. Father, we ask that you would just continue to do great things through us all in the name of Jesus Christ the King. Amen. All right, people. Once again, I had to charge my spirit up real quick. Appreciate those that participated. Definitely, heavens is moving, my friends. Anyway, be blessed, be safe, and I will see you guys later. Peace.